Hello everyone, this is Tatyana and welcome to my channel. If you haven't done so yet, then make sure to subscribe and ring the bell in order not to miss out on any of these videos. It is definitely about time to freshen up my toenails. They've really grown out, so without any further delay, let's get started. My toenails used to be rather small and rounded, but I've worked on them for a long time, creating the perfect shape and form. And within time, they finally got to where I really wanted them to be. As you can see, they have grown out quite a bit from the cuticle area. When doing a pedicure, I like to file down not only the remaining nail polish, but also the length of the toenails. If you're wondering how I do my own toenails, well, here's a picture. It's definitely not the most comfortable pose to be in, especially when you're filming. I'm filing down the material with a thin bit. This does a great job of removing the material, even around the edges. Since the layers are thin, we could soak them in order to avoid any dust. And also there aren't a lot of good nail dust collectors for pedicures. I do have one that I use sometimes with a tube, and it does a pretty good job when it's placed right next to the nail. However, I left it at my sister's. I'm removing the layers carefully and making sure not to hit the nail drill's bit hard against my toenail. I'm also using this bit to clean up around the cuticle area. When using a carbide bit, there's no need to worry about getting close to the skin, and you can even go over the skin with this kind of bit to clean everything up. Some people do like to let their toenails rest during winter time. However, if you have problematic toenails, it is important to keep an eye on them. Coating your nails can be really helpful in certain situations, rather than just leaving them bare. For example, nails that are somewhat curling, not growing out properly, are best treated with hard materials. Nails that are coated in a hard material just really encourage the nails to keep their shape and to avoid curling in. I've demonstrated this before on my clients' nails, and the results were very clear. They grew out perfectly following the shape of the gel and completely stopped curling inward. And now to the next foot. This pose was even more uncomfortable, but it was the only way. Those of you out there who have done your own pedicures will understand. It is possible to take the length down with a nail drill. However, I'm going to be removing my length today with nail cutters and forming them into a rather square shape. I tend to have problems with the sidewalls, and because my nails are pretty thin, it is a really unpleasant feeling when they rub against the skin. Therefore, I'm cutting down the sides by the sidewalls in order to keep them from resting against any skin. Further, with my nail file, I'm carefully taking down any of the unevenness. Today I've decided to do a French manicure that I'm really excited about. On my dehydrated toenails, I am applying a base in thin layers and somewhat leveling them just to get a more saturated color. This base isn't very thick, so I do need to quickly smoothen it out and dry one toenail at a time. For the white smile line, I'm combining a white gel polish and gel paint. As much as I love French manicures, and in this case pedicure, it is still really important to trim your toenails and not just let them grow out. Of course, that will take off some of your smile line, but it can be retouched. Having too long of toenails and then accidentally hitting them or having them pressed on in your shoes can cause injuries, so it's important to keep them at a good length. And the most important part when doing a French manicure or pedicure is having dense pigmentation, so that even though the layer is thin, it's rich in color. A lot of my clients prefer a thicker, more obvious smile line. However, I personally like something a little bit more in the middle. And what about you guys? Let me know down in the comments section below. Last but not least, our finish. This finish is quite thick and is made for pink tones. After all of that work, awkward posing, and patience, I think they turned out great. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, and until next time.